Hi, this is Ritika Kashyap for Heart and Soul at Master of Malls. With me is the gorgeous lady Shalini Arora Kochar. A very warm welcome, ma'am, to you on behalf of Heart and Soul.
Thank you so much. Coming from a gorgeous woman, I truly feel that you must be really saying it because
Wow,
you understand gorgeous. So thank you very
so
much. Happy
thank you.
to be
That's a
here.
compliment for me too. So to start with, you are an author, jewelry designer, and a motivational speaker.
That's right.
So all three,
Different and
one
yeah,
different
that's right.
thing.
Yes.
So let's start with the author, Shalini.
You know, it's funny how this whole story started for me because when I was in school, I was terrible at writing. In fact, I still don't understand the concept of punctuations and grammar. But fortunately for me now, with all this whole story of writing, there's emoticons. So I'm always using emoticons instead of full stops so people can understand what's going on. So
Great.
writing was definitely not something I thought would be my forte until Facebook came into play. And I started putting these very interesting statuses on Facebook, and I realized that people were appreciating them, liking them, and the endorphins were going crazy because I was so excited that, I was being liked. Now people started telling me, keep writing your funny stories and funny statuses. My followers grew. And until then, people started telling me, why don't you write a book? I said, hey, what the hell? What am I doing? May really be good at this. That's how the thought of the book came about. And I wanted to particularly not write per se, but bring together a set of interesting, intelligent women who have inspired me along my life. So each of the women that I have in my book, which is 100 women, right from Bollywood to doctors to the corporate world to just people in the holistic space, they're all women that have personally inspired me along the way because, like we know, that everyone has a story. And that's what the book is. It's called Shalini Says Women on Top of Their Game, inspiring stories about 100 women entrepreneurs.
The name says it all too. But it's kind of funny, you start messaging in social media, like status,
That's
obviously,
right.
which we all start, and
That's
you
right.
land up being such an amazing author,
An author, yeah.
and that too with women. Which game are you talking about in your book, basically?
So it was funny when I named the forum. I wanted it to personify that women are smart, intelligent, always on top of everything. And the minute I named the forum called Women on Top, I kind of got those smirks from people like, oh, women on top kind of thing. I was like, oh, I need to fix that. So it became dot 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 top of their game. That's how the name came
Right.
about. Yes.
So I think the name says it all, but obviously that must have been funny. Women on top, obviously that does create some chills. There were God, what is she's gonna write in that book, isn't it?
Yeah, so actually, the book is the inspiring story about the entrepreneur, and then I have a section in that which says Shalini says. So I've asked some quirky questions. So that's the fun part of it because then they've kind of responded, and I've added my own little tweak to it. So that's how the book is.
So
It's a coffee table
okay,
book.
how do you feel quirkiness? So how do you feel? You must be asking those kinky questions, something or the other. How do you think Indian women take that? Sporty?
So
Not.
Indian women do have a sense of humor, but I think we need to, stay when it comes to being in the public and in the media. We have to be careful of what we are saying and how we're, going to be. People are judgmental, so women are careful. But I think we do have a sense of humor. So yes, I've been able to add humor. So it's when I mean quirky, not it's not political at all. It's absolutely
Absolutely.
decent, good sense of humor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. It is
yeah,
because women in India are a little shy away from commenting and letting
that's
their
right.
self out
Yeah,
in open.
that's
They
right.
do have an amazing lot because I've seen groups, women, doing chilpil, chilpil, chilpil here and there, and then but they don't come out in open,
Yeah,
which
I
they
think
should.
it's the inhibitions that we're brought up with. It's the environment because now that I live in Monaco, we have a lot of these women afternoons, and they put out some really vague and weird questions, and all the women can say anything and get away with it. But in India, we seem to have a lot of limitations, and it's okay because I pride myself in the culture that we come from, our morals, our upbringing. So I think it's absolutely good to do that.
So
Yeah.
Shalini Arora Kochar is a feminist.
I don't think so. I think that I just want to create a platform for women, and I'm taking a lot of support from the men to help me
Okay.
do this, right? So I would not say that. I still like my door opened and my chair pulled, and my men buying me dinner. It would be
Nice.
a wrong statement to say that I'm doing all of those things. But I do believe that women need to come out there and be able to say their piece. We are bound by the boundaries of our families and by the DNA, because in our career we take a setback because we've had children, so we have to take a setback. It's natural, right? So
Right.
it's not that I'm lesser smart than my husband or my brother or my son. It's just that the way the DNA is, I have to have the kids and I have to say, okay, they come before the work does. So we take a setback in our careers, but today life is changing and things are changing, and I'm glad that I can be a contributor to this change.
So you feel that women are actually multifunctional people who can handle a lot of things all bind
Absolutely,
together.
absolutely. Being a
Are
woman
they
yourself.
blessed? Yes. Are they blessed? Do you think are they blessed
Totally,
with that?
totally, totally.
So
My
I can see
husband's
that in your profile too.
That's so sweet. My husband still makes fun of me because if I'm typing a WhatsApp message and he's talking, I don't hear him. And he's like, "Oh my God, you can't even multitask." I said, "No, I'm focused. Let's get that
Oh
straight."
yes. So it depends
So,
on your
absolutely.
priorities whether you want to listen to him right now or not.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's switch over to Shalini Arora Kochar, who's a jewelry designer.
Okay.
So
So why jewelry?
yeah.
Because I was just doing too much serious work, I thought, and I wanted something creative in my life. I wanted a creative outlet because I would always sketch. I always loved dressing well. I always liked to be a style statement wherever I went. So I needed something which kept me in the glamour field, because in my initial years I'd done the Miss India and I thought Bollywood was my calling, but that was clearly not, because I decided to marry and go the conventional route because of a conventional family. So I said, okay, here's my time now. I've done the kid story, I've done the husband story, I've lived by all the rules. Time to break the rules and do something and get back into the industry which turns me on. And that's how jewelry happened to me. I, I realized that it looks all very glamorous, but when you go there and make it yourself, and you're sitting there with the artisans and getting it made, you're spending days on end just getting the thing made. It looks all fun. So now, fortunately, I've streamlined all of that, and now I manufacture the jewelry. I'm able to provide employment to artisans here and work for the Make in India concept by doing that. And I'm able to sell that jewelry in the global market because I now do all the fashion weeks and I retail out of Milan, Berlin, Paris. So, yeah, so jewelry's got me right back into the glamour
And you
story.
have your own jewelry brand
That's
made
right.
by
It's
Saks.
called Saks. So I want Saks Fifth Avenue to sue me saying how you're using this name because I'm just kidding. I might get famous, but
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So it's called Saks.
Okay, so that's great. So, what do you have to say about this? How important is getting dressed up and being up to date and using jewelry in our day-to-day life? How important is it in today's world?
I'm a coach, so every time you ask me a question, I want to turn it around and ask you the same question, but
So that's okay.
but I can't ask the question, so I'm going to tell you that for
That's why I'm
every
not on your seat and you're not in mine, so
no,
that's all
I
right.
know. So for every woman, I think the minute she dresses well and she's looking good, she's feeling good. So it's very important to look good and feel good. And I feel that it's funny. I don't want to take the name of an experience that recently happened. I was doing a show, and the outfit that was given to me was making me not feel myself because I hadn't done clothes trials and I had to make a compromise and I had to walk that ramp. And I was like, oh my God, just because of this outfit, I can't let that change my entire personality. And finally, it was my attitude that carried me through the show. But I did realize that clothes do help make a man, or a jewelry statement of jewelry will make me feel better than. So why not? You have to be well dressed because that makes you feel good. So we all should be. And I'm always well turned out, and I say that I don't know how long I'm going to live. This may be the last day of my life. At least I have to be dressed well if I'm going. So I'm always
That's
well
okay.
dressed.
I think clothes and jewelry is like a warrior wearing there that you have to get dressed up and go out in the world and just shine. That does
Absolutely.
make a lot of difference. I can
Yes, it
understand.
does.
So let's catch on to now. I will just go to Shalini Arora Kochar, the motivational speaker.
Okay, that's another story. And I never even. So here's another thing, and I have to share this that I had the fear of public speaking. And when I had to go for the Miss India, I said, I'm not going to do this because the minute they give me the mic, I'm going to be dumbfounded and I'm going to lose the contest. So everybody told me that, listen, it doesn't matter winning or losing. The fact is that you have a story to tell your grandchildren. I was like, oh, okay, for that I'm going to go make a fool of myself. Never mind that. But so, yes, I had a fear of public speaking. So, motivational speaker was not even a part of the plan. But I think somewhere inside of you, when there's a fear and you want to conquer it, you are constantly telling yourself that, oh, I wish I can be like Rita Ji, who speaks so well, or oh, wish I can be
Absolutely.
like,
All good.
Steve Jobs, who just walked up there and spoke like this, or, all the speakers. I love Tony Robbins, so if I can speak like him. So we all keep wishing this and thinking this, and somewhere I think I manifested it because when I was so passionate about making a difference, and I think that's what it is. You have to follow your passion. That I would go to these women's stories and I would tell them, hey, why is it that you can't do this? I can. Why can't you? And while I was doing all this and speaking, and people like, my God, you're truly inspire, you know. And that's where I said, if two people can say it, maybe 10 are laughing, but maybe I can make this a living, and that's what I do. And today I speak on the happiness quotient, and I've conquered my fear. So here I am, from a woman who could not speak in public to a woman who thrives on speaking in public, and that's what my journey's been.
It certainly looks, I can just see that, you've just like gone there and conquered everything about your fears of talking public. I can't even imagine you as a child who's fearful of, getting holding a mic on Miss India platform and whatever. So, as now you're connected with Heart and Soul.
Yes, I am. I'm
So,
happy to be.
yeah, and we are indeed lucky to have you here on this platform. So, what is Heart and Soul for you?
You know, I've actually been with you all from the inception because I think the first event that you all did and you were awarding moms, it was on Mother's Day, I think. And I was invited and I was awarded for being a good mother and also being able to balance life by being a good and interesting professional. And that's where my journey with Heart and Soul began. So now that I live in Monaco, I'm in the zone of seafood, and we were talking the other day at a dinner table, and people were talking about seafood and lobsters. So they say that lobsters and human beings are very similar because we thrive in a hierarchy. And that's what I feel Heart and Soul is creating. We're a mixed people who are inspiring, who are interesting, and therefore we are thriving. So to be here today amidst all these women, because each one has a story, each one is inspirational to me, and that's how the book happened. Because I said, "Wow, this is like amazing," and that's how we grow in a hierarchy, and that's what Heart and Soul is creating, getting the right people together, getting the right women together, touching each other's lives. So I admire the work you all are doing, and I'm proud to be associated and proud to be a part of this.
And it takes a very like a lot of hard work to keep all the people
It
together from
does.
different platforms, which is very difficult, I'm sure. But we still manage.
Of course you do, and you're doing an
We
outstanding job. So don't run
so
yourself short at all.
okay, that's really nice of you. So basically, you know Hindi.
Of course.
So
बिल्कुल हम
let's
दिल है
go for
हिंदुस्तानी.
that's nice.
Totally.
Because for some viewers, I don't want to be, a linguistic the approach to people only
बिल्कुल.
talk in English.
बिल्कुल
आप
ठीक.
बाहर रहती हैं, आप मोस्टली बाहर स्पेंड करती हैं टाइम और आपका एक्सेंट थोड़ा सा सबका हमारा वैसा हो जाता है. सो कुछ हिंदी में बताइए अपनी किताब के बारे में.
ओह आप मेरे से अब वही बात हिंदी में तो इतनी हिंदी अच्छी नहीं कि वही
थोड़ा
चीज़ बोल
सा
पाऊँ मैं अपना
so that
बना
जो
लूँगी.
हिंदी सुनती हैं या जो ज़्यादा उनको टच होता है तो थोड़ा पढ़ने से पहले उनको थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए कि हम क्या पिटारा खोलने वाले हैं.
किताब के बारे में अगर आप कहेंगे तो मैं ये बोलना चाहती हूँ कि मेरी ज़िंदगी में हर टाइम जब भी कोई बुरी चीज़ हुई है या जब कोई आई फाउंड माई सेल्फ कि मैं कहीं फंस गई हूँ तो कोई ना कोई एक बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग औरत मेरी ज़िंदगी में आई है और उसने मेरी ज़िंदगी का रुख बदल दिया है. तो वहाँ से मुझे एक किताब लिखने की इंस्पिरेशन मिली थी कि हम औरतें अगर चाहें तो एक दूसरे को हेल्प करके एक दूसरे को बढ़ावा दे के एक दूसरे को एक दूसरे मकाम पे पहुंचा सकते हैं. सो दैट इज़ व्हेन आई सेड कि ये किताब तो मुझे लिखनी है और ये किताब सिर्फ नहीं लिखनी है, मैं चाहती हूँ कि ये किताब जब मैं लॉन्च करूँ तो सारी औरतें साथ में मिलें और वो करने के लिए मैंने इवेंट्स कोऑर्डिनेट करे जहाँ अब हम एक ही डिज़ाइनर के कपड़े पहनेंगे, तो जब क्लोथ ट्रायल हो रहे हैं तो सब ऑल 100 आर गेटिंग टुगेदर.
Absolutely.
सो यू नो, अलग अलग फोरम्स क्रिएट करके आई गॉट दिस. और आज भी ये औरतें जो मेरी किताब है जिनके बारे में मैंने लिखा है, वो किसी ना किसी तरह से एक दूसरे से जुड़ी हैं और एक दूसरे को मदद करके दे आर हेल्पिंग ईच अदर ग्रो. So I think this has really been a turning point in my life.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
tell me one thing, you must have interacted with a lot of women जब आपने
Yes.
किताब लिखी होगी.
Yes. Yes.
So any particular experiences you felt कि आपको लगा which were like heart touching, or you know you must have, आपने बहुत लोगों की जिंदगी के अंदर झांका होगा, उन्होंने आपसे काफ़ी चीज़ें शेयर भी करी होंगी, अपना डर, प्यार, whatever feelings they were
Yeah,
going to, which
yeah.
probably they wanted to be mentioned in that book. Any particular experience?
You know, in fact, I was sitting and interviewing one of the women, and she came over home and we were chatting because she was like, I just don't know how to write and tell you my story, but I can talk to you, you know. So she was telling me a story and she told me about how she's got money, she's got everything that a woman can wish for, but she says, I still constantly feel this anxiety inside me and I just don't feel happy. So while we were interviewing and we were writing this story, walked in my maid who's been through really traumatic times. She lost her husband and she didn't have anything for herself. And I told her, I said, you know, it's people like that that inspire you. Because she was going through a really bad time and I hired her because she had nowhere to go and she didn't know any work, and she said, पैसे ही नहीं है मेरे पास जीने के लिए, मैं कैसे करूँगी. टू दी एक्सटेंट कि मैं एक दिन रात को घर जा रही थी और मैं सिर्फ एक कप चाय पी के रात को सोती थी और मेरे पास बिल्कुल घर में दूध भी नहीं था, इतने भी पैसे नहीं थे आफ्टर द हस्बैंड पास्ट अवे. और मैं गई, थोड़ा सा दूध था और मेरे को एक बिल्ली रास्ते में मिली. वो बिल्ली रो रही थी और कुछ खाना नहीं था, तो मैं उसको घर ले गई और जो दूध मेरा चाय का था मैंने उसको दिया, you know. And मैं चाय भी नहीं पी पाई उस रात को. So I told her, I said, the reason I'm telling you this story is that she was the happiest on that night by giving. You know, so the thing that you're doing is you're so busy and so self-consumed that I'm rich, I want to get my Chanel bag, or I want to get my Louis Vuitton shoes, or I want to do that. You're forgetting that until you give happiness to other people, you're not going to be happy. And that story, she says, I don't want you to interview me anymore because I'm going to write that story and I'm going to give it to you. So it's in my book and it's quite interesting to read
Wow,
that.
wow, that's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Truly
Yeah.
amazing. Now I can understand what makes you a motivational speaker. You just got me hooked up to that story and what was Billy doing and where was the doodh going. But obviously that is power of giving. I can completely
Yes.
connect with you on that word. So anything for our viewers? For Heart and Soul, because you know we have so many this pageant which is coming up, and
I know, I know. This pageant is actually quite interesting because, like I told you, that's where my life started and that's where I became famous.
So why wouldn't you just come back and
I would.
try, like, why not?
Absolutely,
Absolutely, why not?
But I think I've crossed that boat now, so I
Why?
would give others
It's not
the.
like that. There is no age, is no bar. I'm sure, please, nothing like that. Viewers, we would love to have her as the contestant in Mrs. India.
Thank you so much.
Sure,
Thank
you
you.
can
Can I
fulfill
rig
your
it and just
dreams.
take the crown, or do I have to
can-
take that mic and speak again?
Sure, anything.
Yeah, maybe good to relive. But yeah, what I want to tell everybody is, so I've always believed in the fact that you have to be in it to win it, right? I don't believe in